Okay, thank you very much for being here. We are very pleased to have you as our international guest. My name is Anne-Claire.
I'm Robin.
And over there are the rest of our group members, Roy, Marlena and Dana. For the past 10 weeks, we have been conducting research into the lifestyle of a specific target audience and how non-motorized mobility influences their quality of life. We have analyzed and detected trends we think are interesting for the Dutch Consulate in Capetown. We also looked at which urban developments and developments in mobility could inspire you. Yeah. Our research question was, what quality of life does the target audience experience with respect to their living environment and non-motorized mobility in relation to their lifestyle, and what developments and trends are discernible?
So for our research, we were given the city Nijmegen, and in Nijmegen we focused on a district called Hatert, because the municipality of Nijmegen sees Hatert as a focus area because it is under average developed compared to the other districts in the city. We spoke with different people with different ages in Hatert, and we found that there are differences in mentalities, and that's why we found these three different mentality groups. They're called citizenship styles. The first group are the pragmatists, the second group the dutifuls, and the third the responsibles. And during our presentation we will mainly focus on the responsibles while giving you some inspiration and insights on the things that we came across during our research. So for the responsibles we established the pain and the gain. Spending time with family is very important for the responsibles, but they also feel very part of the community. So they want to be participating in the community. And these people, they would consider using their bikes, or they already do use their bikes, but they really let their environment influence their choice of transport. So for example, if the distances are too long, they will not take their bike because it takes too much time to get to work and also get home again where their family is, because that is very important to them.
For inspiration, we are going to show you one signal of our trend report. A signal is our term for a product or service. A signal is the outcome of needs of people, and each signal has its own important values. The signal we're going to show you is the Eastside Riders Bike Club in Los Angeles. This is a club entirely run by volunteers, and the purpose of this community is to keep children and teenagers away from drugs and out of gangs, but also to lend a helping hand for those in need. Because gang members and motorcycling members are also members, the club has some form of respect and freedom in the various neighborhoods where they operate. So the cycling club is what unites all these different groups. It's all about being together, helping each other, and supporting a more healthier lifestyle. More of these signals in our report share the same values, and based on these equal values we were able to identify a trend. Yeah.
And this trend is called crowded community. And as Anne-Claire just told you, there are several signals that share these same values, and based on these values we analyze this trend. And they are being together, bonding, helpfulness, and reinforcing. And the trend is about providing a better and more social environment for the individual. Today there are more and more collective initiatives from the urban communities that motivate and support each other. Social communities can serve as a promotion for bonding. The new way of living of the future can bring about a positive change in behavior of the individual. We also see that citizens want less government intervention, but at the same time they want the government to facilitate and stimulate the community activities. The expectation is that it will develop the responsiveness of the government along with the social community initiatives. And through social projects, the relationship between residents are strengthened, and they can offer each other help in times like these. In times like these, we see that individualization is becoming a very, very large part of our community and society, but the trend crowded community is the counter movement against individualization.
It is not always clear how to serve a consumer the best possible way. In the past, we could clearly tell the difference between target audience with the rise of individualization, resulted in clear and different wishes. A possible solution is co-creation, which means involving the consumer in the project phase and the product process, production process. This can be done by asking the consumer his opinion and to let him bring forward his idea. If we build something ourselves, we find it much more valuable than just any regular product, and we are willing to pay more for it.
So how do we see these future perspectives based on what we just told you? We think that the Dutch Consulate in Cape Town should let the end user get involved in the development and the creating process for bike mobility. Groups of people can form communities and encourage each other with growing the bicycle mobility culture. Do this together with the people of Cape Town because they are the ones that will be using the bike in the end. Let them help in the process so that they too can experience this IKEA effect. They will cherish the outcome even more if they have helped developing it themselves. The Dutch Consulate and the government should facilitate community initiatives and aim for togetherness, helpfulness, bonding and reinforcing. And the fact that we came to this conclusion independently based on our research is very interesting when we look at the recent outcomes of the mobility endeavor in Cape Town, because they too concluded that the end user involvement in a project idea phase is very important for behavioral change.
Yeah. So let's go back to the different mentality groups. The trend crowded community and the use of co-creation will appeal the most to the responsibles. Almost a quarter of the people living in Hatet belong to this group of like-minded people. They are socially involved and with the community and prioritize public interest. Their pain, which is letting their surroundings influence their transport choice, might get solved by involving them in the project idea phase. Since their gain is to spend more time with family and to be more part of the community, this would be definitely a great solution. The quality of life of the people will improve since they will be more, since they will be even more part of the community. They will be heard and they can actively work together with others.
So how do we see Cape Town in the future based on the previous things that we just told you and the inspiration that we told you? Well, we see a chance for increasing bicycle mobility in Cape Town by involving the end user in the project idea phase. But we think that the end user should not only be involved in a project idea phase, they should be part of every phase of increasing bicycle mobility. And the Dutch Consulate and the South African government should also facilitate and stimulate communities to get together, to help each other and to inspire each other. The Transcrowd community shows us that there is power and will amongst the people. Changing behavior starts with listening to and involving the people and facilitating community initiatives.
Building Cape Town will not only happen top to bottom, but most definitely also bottom to top. In our research report, there are 2 more trends and more in-depth information about mobility and urban developments, and also more clear profiles of a target audience. Thank you very much for listening. This was the end of our presentation.